Hi guys, and welcome back to the Playerz Podcast. I'm back again with Simon. I'm sorry about a 2 week gap. It's been about 2 weeks-ish. Yeah. Sorry about that. But we had a League Cup, didn't we, in Birmingham, and we've just been doing other stuff throughout the week. We got a few things to talk about today, though, with our absence. Just like the new set and upcoming regionals. And I'm not. Where is it again?
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh
this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend. So it'll be exciting. We'll see our predictions for that. And I think we've also had some tech upgrades this past few weeks as well, talking to one of our subscribers and friends, Graham. He showed us how to do a couple of things on the computer, so we'll be improving your experience, I guess.
Try our best.
Yeah, hopefully.
With that, hopefully it works.
Yeah, so I think... I don't know if we're going to get started with the set straight away, or if you have anything to talk about.
No, we'll go straight to that, and then we can talk about our cup experience afterwards, because we both had a very different experience.
Yeah, so we've been scrolling through Poker Beach. Like, if I can get it up here, there we go. That's great. So there's the Raging Surf is the set, and then there's the couple of cards introduced, including those two, which I haven't seen Hooper yet, so that'll be a surprise for me.
A couple of nice alt arts or illustrator arts or whatever Pokemon want to call them this time.
Yeah, there's these Pikachu fake ones, I can't remember, they're Plusle and Minun, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the Garchomp.
I think the Plusle and Minun actually have an okay ability, but we'll see that when we go down. And then we've got the Garchomp's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Garchomp's really cool. That's the good one, isn't it? Well, a relatively good one.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Then
just got some, like, I don't know, they're just like base cards that he's on there.
Yeah, so we've got the Lapras, not much to go through there.
Oh.
Octillery, there you go. Octillery's a notable card.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for Octillery.
So...
Suction Jaw, once during your turn, when you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may draw 3 cards, and then 60 damage. That's nothing much there.
To be more for the ability, I suppose.
Okay.
So you could, it's like a pseudo Oranguru, maybe? Little Oranguru.
It's like...
but it's a stage 1 Oranguru.
Yeah, it's okay.
So I suppose, like, with the Octillery, you could, I don't know, you probably wouldn't, but something like the Thingy deck.
He looks cool, though.
The Urshifu deck, where it plays the Remoraid Octillery line, you could maybe play one of those, because that deck can brick out late game. So that could be a cool, cheeky, bench your non-threatening Remoraid, and then you could use that to draw out. You probably wouldn't, but offhand, that's the only... Because in water decks, Greninja's probably better.
Just because I'm that kind of guy, I've noticed that his Remoraid does 10 damage. It says it does 20 on the text. Anyway.
Okay, cool. So here's the Plusle and the Minun.
Yeah, I'll show them both
like
together.
The Buddy Pulse ability. So if you have Plusle in play, which one's Plusle?
The blue one. No,
the red one.
Yeah, the red one.
Yeah. So if you have Plusle in play, when your opponent attaches an energy from their hand to one of their Pokemon, you put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. And you can't have more than one of those abilities so you can't have 4 and 4, and now you can have 8 in play at a time, but you can't stack.
You can't stack
stuff.
Damage counters.
But that's a quick, cheeky double damage. Like, probably won't really see play in a competitive deck, but I like the card art, and I think it's pretty cool. But it's kind of a bit meh.
It's just a bit of synergy, really.
Yeah.
They didn't tend to do that with these winners anyway.
We've got 2 Gimmigholes.
We've got 2.
I think the top one's the better one.
Yeah.
No, the bottom one. Which one's the call for family one? The top one so it's only got 50 HP, which usually means the card's better because they have more squishy HP.
Yeah, that's true. Actually.
So it's got call for family. Search your deck for a basic. Put it on your bench. You know, everyone knows what call family is. It's pretty decent.
But that's for the. Oh wait, what? Why did they do that? There we go. I haven't seen this one yet. Is that Hooper?
That's the Hooper.
Fighting type Hooper. That's cool. That's the Terra thing. 50 damage. This attack does 50 damage for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon in play. And then 200 damage. Can't use it next turn. I'm not missing out on much then.
I was going to say, what's your thoughts on the Hooper then?
Yeah, I'm not missing out on much. It looks cool, but I'm not missing out on much.
So I think when you look at it quickly, you're like, oh, for double dark, it can do like infinite damage, but you can't dark patch it.
No, you can't.
It's a basic.
Yeah, it's just...
So it doesn't evolve. Not that Hooper evolves, but it doesn't evolve from like mini Hooper into big Hooper.
That's pretty.
Who like you could have had like mini Hooper was like the dark type, and then what's this?
The fighting.
The big Hooper, mega Hooper.
Oh, they do the There's the little midget one, and then there's the
like
big...
Lord of the Rings Hooper, big dude. Like they could have like gone, oh, he mega evolves into mega Hooper.
Yeah, and he does that transformation or whatever.
Yeah, so I don't think it's very good.
Nah, I didn't miss out on much.
I think we're starting to see now with the Terra cards that a lot of them, like with the Garchomp as well, like I think the Garchomp's real strong, but it's obviously because they're Terra type now, the energy is different to the card, so the synergy isn't there. Yeah, so with the Garchomp's a water Pokemon, but it's got fighting energy. So you're thinking, oh, it's a water Pokemon, let's play it with... Oh yeah, it doesn't work. Does it make
some things awkward.
Oh, and the Charizard as well. I know the Charizard is probably the exception, but I think if Charizard EX didn't have the ability it has, it would just be a binder card. Yeah. Like, because the energy doesn't sync up to it, and I know that's what they're trying to do, but I personally hope that soon they give us some kind of Terra trainers.
Yeah,
like Terra Patch. That'd be cool.
They do.
I know that'd be kind of silly, but Terra Patch would be quite nuts. Like, or a Terra Ball.
Yeah, they need to do something.
Like a Terra Crystal, which is watch this space.
I don't know. I'm just.
What's this fever do then?
Sneaky Snatch. During a turn, when you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may look at your opponent's hand, choose 2 energy if I'm there, and then the opponent shuffles them into their deck.
No, that's bad.
Yeah.
Should be discard.
There you go.
But that's just me. Hey! So, Cheese String EX. Mr. Cheese String.
Just does, doesn't he?
Or if you're an old person like me, he looks like Fido Dido. I don't know if you know who that is. Old people know Fido Dido. He's the 7-Up guy.
Oh, yeah.
You'll know him if you see him. He wears the glasses and he's got the flat top.
He does look like
right? Him. So Gimme Ghoul EX, Metal-type Pokemon. Only 260 HP. I thought it might have had a bit more, but again, low HP equals good attack usually. So its ability is probably the best thing about it, I would say. Once during your turn, you may draw 1 card. If this Pokemon is in the active spot, you draw 2 cards. Now, there's no stipulation on this card that you can only use this once. So you could have all 4 in play, and you could draw...
1 in the active.
You could draw a minimum of 5 cards, and then you could switch it out, it out.
Oh my god, that'd just be dumb.
So you technically could draw 8. So you could draw 8. You probably wouldn't. You'd probably be drawing 5.
That'd be so dumb.
And then so you're drawing 5 cards, plus your draw supporter, plus, I don't know, if you want to play Greninja in it, which I think Greninja would synergise quite well. Because you're probably going to want to play, like, 59 energy in this or something.
Guzzlord GX.
Like, not that you would play 59 energy, obviously, but because it's got to evolve. But you would play probably a heavy count, like 15 plus energy. So the attack for a single metal, which is... I also think it's kind of crazy, like 1 metal energy.
It could be like double metal.
Like, so you can literally just go like evolve metal, bang.
Yeah.
Right? So Make It Rain, which is, I think Make It Rain in the VG is the name of its ability.
So, yeah.
Which is actually cool. I think it's a broken ability as well.
No, Make It Rain's the attack and all the...
What's the ability though? I know the ability is like Gimme Ghoul in, not Gimme Ghoul, Spaghetti Head is... kind of busted in VG.
I know it's really good. Yeah.
So Make It Rain is 50 times damage. So no plus, it's times. Discard any number of basic energy cards from your hand, not from the Pokemon. The stat does 50 damage for each card discarded this way. Now, if you're drawing 5 cards and you're playing a quarter of your deck energy, you're probably going to get at least 2 or 3 energy in your hand. So let's say on an average turn you can do 150, 200 damage. On a good turn, you're hitting... What did you say 350 was?
350 is the ideal.
So that's like 6 energy? 5, 6, 7 energy?
7 energy.
So 7 energy, which isn't... And for a single attachment, isn't that difficult.
Not really.
I was saying to Lewis earlier, and I don't know if anyone would agree with it, but I think the synergy for this would be really good with Chi and Pao. Like, you would use Chi and Pao like you use Chi and Pao in the Palkia deck, is you just use Chi and Pao like a Professor's Letter to search for 2 energy. Okay. So you'd start because this is a deck where you'd play loads of switch cards just because of this ability. So you could start with it, with the Chi and Pao, you could draw 2 cards, like search for 2 energy, switch into another Chi and Pao, search for 2 energy, then you could switch into your Gimme Ghoul, call for family, get another Gimme Ghoul out. Next turn, let's say you just get 2 of these dudes out, you attach for turn, you search for 2 more energy off a switch, you're playing these abilities, you probably play Greninja in it. Like, you'd probably play a kind of deck where you just draw cards, but I don't think you'd play much like Disruption. You'd probably play Researches. There's a really cool card at the bottom of this list that would be really good to play with this. But you would just draw cards. So you've got a massive hand, and then you discard it all. And you would do what a lot of decks did when there's cat. When we started playing, was you kind of get to the point where you draw that many cards, you deck yourself out. Then you would do the big attack with the Spaghetti Man. Or Chi String.
It doesn't have a name, does it?
You would do, let's say you discard 7 energy, you do 300 damage, they knock you out, right? You bring up the next Goldengo, him, Chi String, and you play Superior Energy. What's it called?
The Superior Energy.
And if you don't play that, well, you could play that, but you could also play Energy Recycler, and you could do like what Last Box does with the Kyogre trick, is you deck yourself out, but then your entire deck just becomes energy for the Golden Go, and then you Energy Recycler, you draw with the ability, so you've got 5 or 6 energy in hand, you play another Recycler to put a couple more energy back so you don't deck out, then you knock out, and I think if you get into that kind of point, you're just in checkmate.
Yeah, I think that's very strong.
Like, you could just be like, and I think if you play a turbo deck, with 4 research, Trekking Shoes, Greninja, like a turbo deck, you could get to that very quickly. Yeah. Like, I think Golden Go is, I think it's going to be, let's just say, I don't want to say one of the best decks in format.
Maybe it'll be strong.
I think it'll be, tier 1. It'll be tier 1, right? Or it's going in your binder.
Yeah, I reckon it could be.
I don't think there's anything in between. It's going to be your tier 1, I'm scared to play this deck because it just one-shots everything. Or put it in my binder because it never sets up. So that's my opinion. I'm probably wrong, but it's not Hooper anyway.
You got this though.
Yeah. So
is it just the one or is it 2? Search your deck for A basically.
But then you play Nest Balls and you play. If you go second, you could play the Irida and the Battle VIP Pass combo to get your Chi and Pao, your Ninja, your Battle VIP. Right, so
they got two
supporters. The bottom one I think is better.
Okay, I'll read the rubbish one.
Read Sean Tao. This person. Did you skip a Pokemon? Or was it Paul?
Was that Goldengo? No, that was Goldengo.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's not Paul. So this is Sean Tao. I don't know who this is, and she might be from the game.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Flip a coin if Fez switching one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active part. If Tails, do it to yourself, basically. Ooh.
So flip a coin, boss's orders.
Nah. Okay. We've got Parasol Lady.
You can read Parasol Lady.
To go with Big Parasol.
Yeah.
It's not in format anymore. Shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 4 cards. If you go second and it's your first turn, draw on 2 out of 8 cards instead. Oh, that's like Lily, that's it, yeah.
Is it Lily?
It's not exactly, but it's...
Lily was draw 6, draw 8.
Isn't it draw up to as well, not shuffle in? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's draw up to 8.
Yeah.
So I was thinking this one, again, with the Golden Go, yeah? You could set up, play all your cards out, shuffle in, draw 8. Those 8 could be energies, they could be this, could be 8.
So,
like, technically, I would say, depending on how the spaghetti hair works, you would probably play Irida in it to get your Battle V, or Arven. Something like where you get Battle VIP or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like something like that, but I quite like this kind of... This will be good in like Arceus decks, I think, as well. So, or any deck that plays Bibarel, where you want to just shuffle in, draw some cards.
Yeah, that's really good though, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's one of those ones where it's like, oh, this deck's trash, it's going in the binder. And then someone plays it in a tournament and then it's like a 10 quid card.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's going to be that weird, because that's kind of how Lily went, wasn't it? Everyone thought Lily was poor.
Lily, yeah. And then Lily blew
And then
up.
people started playing it in Malamar.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it was like 10 quid.
So it just got basically just the gold Engo and the what was it at the bottom, the trainer from that article. There was one more with just one little card, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Was it just the one?
Yeah.
If it loads.
It's on the...
It's this one with the heat rotom. There we go.
That's the one, yeah.
It's not the heat rotom, but
I don't know, heat room could be busted.
I don't think it is.
Okay, start with eggs, because we love eggs.
Eggs always looks cool though.
I think it's nice that these eggs are walking and not in a pile.
You know what? That's the top comment on this.
Is it?
Yeah, where is it? Unusual to see execute in a line like this and not the usual.
Okay, cool.
That's one of the top comments.
So, execute just does hypnosis. Obviously, you're asleep. That's cool.
Yeah, and you got the big eggs.
Stage one's bad.
Yeah.
Like,
rubbish.
really bad.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then we got Natu.
Triple
jab.
jab.
Oh my god. Is it that Leonhardt dude that has an obsession with Natu?
Yeah. Natu.
Yeah. Then we got the big one, Zatu. Oh.
Man, what is that ability name?
I don't know, but the eggs has come up on the screen.
Kill the eggs.
Here we go. Ability from, who was it? Zatu. We've lost him.
There he is. What is that name?
What the?
Akashic? Akashic?
Oh, that's got to be psychic.
Akashic? Yeah, it's got to be psychic sense. Akashic. So if it is Akashic sense, and you do play this, you're going to be like, just use the ability.
Yeah.
Just use the ability. Just use sense. Not Akashic sense. Can't, no. Sorry. So, carry on. Akashic sense.
I think the Natu's the only good one on this page, so we'll just double check for you. Let's just double. Oh no, the Volcanian's good.
Yeah, the Volk's actually good.
For
Yeah.
that. So we got Akashic sense. Once during a turn, you may attach a basic psychic energy card from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon, and then if you do, draw 2 cards.
So why is that good?
It's just Guardian, maybe, or in anything else, it can just keep something that's slow.
So it's
just a good ability. I might not play it. It's just got a good ability.
Single prize Shadow Rider, yeah.
Yeah.
The ability is really good for drawing cards.
Yeah. It's just got a good ability.
It's one of those cards where it's really, really good.
Mm.
Like, actually, like, attach, draw 2. Like Shadow Rider, right? Is really kind of a broken ability. Probably going to go in the bulk.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense, because it makes Akashic sense. Right?
Oh my god.
I don't understand these kind of cards that are actually really good, but they just get binded.
There's just not really space for it.
Like, once during your turn, how many would you play? 4?
Yeah.
I wouldn't play in Guardy.
Yeah.
Like, at all, because Curly is better.
I know.
Because Curly is discard, draw, and I know where you could play 1 in Guardy, but where's the space? Because then your little Guardy could do like giga damage.
That's what I mean. It's good. It's really good, but it just.
But there's actually isn't there a stadium that does the same thing or something that's coming out soon? Like the psychic one where it's like discard a psychic energy. Oh no, that's discard a psychic energy and heal your Pokemon.
Alright.
Yeah, so I think it's really good. Probably won't see play. It might see play, but it's not. I think it's unfortunate when you see cards like this that have potential, but other stuff's just better. So
It had to be Zatu as well.
yeah. So Deoxys. Don't got anything good.
120 damage, move all energy to this Pokemon to eventually.
So those two together as a single prize deck could be interesting, but no.
Heat Rotom, 140 to itself.
That's
Rubbish.
garbage.
Volcanion
is ace.
for a red damage, for a fire energy.
A red energy,
For a red damage, for a red fire energy, dual turbo, 20 damage. Choose 2 of your bench Pokemon and attach 1 fire energy from your discard pile to each of them. That's just
So that's old Volcanion.
That's
Heat starter or
no, yeah. Oh, it's that one, the one from
Power starter.
Steam.
Power up.
What's the old set called?
Steam Siege.
Steam Siege.
Or one of
the
those.
Steam Siege.
I think the original one was 30 damage, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And it was it only one Pokemon though? Or was it two? Or was it if you go second? No,
that was the other one.
But yeah, like, so this one is... I think this is, again, one of those cards that's really good, but the format we're in, it's not good. But I think if the format continues to go the way it's going, with like stage 2 decks and stuff, this is a really good card to start with. Like, if you're playing Charizard, this should be in your Charizard deck in case you go second.
Just start.
Because then you just go 20 damage, 1 energy on a Charmander, another energy on a Charmander, whichever Charmander they choose to knock out, you evolve the other one, you spread loads of energy. Like, Volcanium's cool.
Yeah, and I believe that is it from the...
I think so, unless there's...
I don't think there's anything else. There was the Gengar, which we just showed at the beginning. No, we didn't show that, but the Gengar, we don't want to
Minnow,
see
you
that.
said, was...
Minno's rubbish. It just has an ability that when you attach an energy to it, it comes into the active, but it only does like 20 damage for each
Flying Meteor.
Yeah.
Once you're... that's
ace.
No,
this is cool.
Okay, the alt art is the best thing about Minnow, because it's all the different Minnows, look.
Is it me, or does this art look exactly like the one that was printed in Sun and Moon Base?
Probably. The one that kills itself.
Yeah.
Is it that one that destroys itself? Yeah.
Destroys itself.
So once you're this is on your bench. When you attach an energy card from your hand to this Pokemon, you may switch this Pokemon with your... What's the damage do?
20 damage times for each colourless in your opponent's active retreat. It's like...
so you play it with 4 Spidups.
Yeah, it's
Garlemine.
It's like that... you know, the card that you said had a really good ability. It was the Volcarona Future. Had a really good ability.
Yeah, but then you're like...
It's just rubbish.
Yeah, okay, so that's poor then, yeah.
I think that's about it from a tech point of the video. So we're actually going to make ourselves...
Hey, there we are.
Hey,
we're back. So, we're going to talk about... I guess one of the reasons why we are a bit late is because we had a cup, we had to prep for a cup, you know, real life got in the way, you know, that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, not last Saturday before, we went to a cup in Birmingham, and it was alright, yeah. So shall I start? Because my day was really eventful, like talk about the name of the podcast, for Jesus' sake. So... I took Arceus Bibarel. So I've been testing it. It was really good in testing. Arceus Bibarel Path Judge. But I didn't play Giratina, because most people are playing Tina, and you know, I'd be silly if I wanted to play the good deck. So I played Arceus, Bibarel, Shaman V. Are they Vs?
Yeah, you played the Shaman V.
Shaman V, Raikou V, and a Drapion V. So I was like, Mr. Counter everyone. Which does work. Unless you're me. So quick run through of mine. I won't take all day because Lewis's was a bit better. Round 1, I paired up against Arceus, Umbreon, Leafeon. I looked at it, I'm like, cool man, I can beat this. Like Leafeon, whatever. Kind of trash card. Umbreon, weak to grass. Shaman V, boom. And then Arceus v Arceus, I played like 3 Sharon's Care, so technically I'm good. And I played Boxer Disaster and all this like cheeky stuff. 4 Path to the Peak, you know, disruption, heal, disruption, run my opponent out of resources. You know, you're sitting there going, yeah man, cool, right? So I was happy, right? So he flipped over his cards. I lost the coin flip. It's great. So he goes first. He goes, start Arceus, attach a DTE, benches. I think he benched 2 Umbreons and a Leafeon, and I was like, cool. I had Arceus in the active, so I was fine. Right? And then he's like, attach, play Path to the Peak. Your turn. I was like, cool. Draw for turn. Pass. So I attached the DTE, pass. I was like, you got to be like, yeah, this is my every cup. So he goes second, obviously, right? He's got everything. So he goes, evolve into Arceus, attach for turn, played Adventurous Discovery, evolved all his big fat dudes, right? Into VMAXs. Didn't even need to bump his own path. Hits me for 180. Sweet. I draw for turn. I get an Arceus V-Star. But I've got nothing else. So I just have to scoop that game really quickly. So I was like, yes, I'm going first. So I'll go first. I start Arceus. Draw. I got Arceus. I think I got a little Bidoof, whatever he's called on the bench. I got a second Arceus on the bench. Looking good. Got a supporter for next turn. All these things, right? So cool. So he goes second. Plays out his hand, pretty much the same start as before. Arceus, energy, bench. He then plays Judge. Judges me to 4 really bad cards. Then plays Path to the Peak. And then Trinity charges to, I think it's a single energy to each Pokemon. So I draw for turn. I just Trinity charge. Because my Arceus is gone, I've got no draw support. I just Trinity charge to an Arceus. Next turn, he evolves, doesn't knock me out, hits me for 180. I think his turn was just as bad as mine, but he's already set up. Right? I then proceed to, I think the turn after that, I managed to get a supporter, I managed to bump the state. I played 1 vacuum, so I managed to vacuum. So I got rid of the stadium, done all this, done all that. Then I repathed myself and managed to hit him, and I was like, right, prime target on the bench, that big Umbreon. So search my deck, Shaman's Prized, typical as it always is. Let's blame the prize cards, right? Cool. So I attack, he attacks. Game 2 took ages. I did manage to win. Don't know how, but I did, because the deck it's good when it runs, right? And then comes to game 3, we're running out of time, so I get a tie. Great. Cheers, pal. Thanks, yeah. Even though you scoop game 1 in 30 seconds, you still tie.
That's what happens when you play against Poker Dads, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Yeah, like me. So round 2 I paired against Gardevoir. Sucks. I go second again. Bad start. The game was close, but I lost game 1. Just because he managed to get I can't fully remember, but I went it was late game. I think it was 2 prizes each left. I went Path, Iono, him to 2 cards. And off Path, Iono, he managed to get Zacian back at the discard pile with all the energy off it and bump Path. It was that kind of, when you're when they curly you into everything.
Yeah.
And you're
yeah.
So it was that kind of, cheers, pal.
Yeah.
And then we got into game 2, and game 2 was just really slow. And I would say I'm not someone to complain, but I did complain. I was moaning because it was kind of so I'll play all my Arceus cards down, and then I'll play Nest Ball, and I won't really do anything, and then I'll play Fog Crystal, and then I won't really do anything, and then I might attach here, but actually I'll attach here, and then I'm going to retreat into Mew just because I can, and then I'm just going to play Mew, and then I'm going to play this card to play this card, and then I'm going to play a supporter, and then so each turn took 20 minutes. To the point where,
names mentioned.
Point where it got to the point where I knew he'd missed an attack on a turn because of the way he was. And he's sitting there going... And I'm like, mate, you can't do anything, just pass. And he's like, yeah, but I'm like, mate, you just need to pass the turn.
Was that when it on turns, it went and you attacked on turns? Yeah.
So the game went into turns, and I went in on the wrong turn, unfortunately. I needed 1 more turn to win, which again would have been another tie, but a tie's better than a loss. So yeah, I ended up losing that. I missed 1 card actually for the game. I needed to vacuum away something to get the KO on it, but luckily for him it didn't work. So yeah, so I had 1 loss, 1 tie, which sucked. Round 3 I paired up against Miraidon. That really cool Miraidon deck. And straight away, if you're playing Arceus against Miraidon, it's quite hard because they're fast, they can donk you. But after Worlds, you're now sitting there going, I know this Miraidon deck also plays 4 Paths to the Peak. Bruh, I'm going to get bodied. So I go first, he goes second. He gets Path to the Peak and a knockout on my Arceus in the first turn. So I scoop game 1 because I just get, not donked, but kind of donked. Game 2, I win Game 2 quite easily because of Miraidon deck. It was 4 generators, miss, they kind of lose.
Yeah.
Went into Game 3, and it was... I took 2 really quickly. He took 2. I took 2. He took 2. And it was that annoying thing of, again, I disrupted him, but he managed to draw out. He drew a research off an Iono, and he ended the turn. And this is kind of like, you know, when they don't even need to attack, and you're like, cheers, pal, good game. Like, he ended the turn with Raichu in the active, with 2 energy on it. I think every other energy was in play, because he had 2 flaffers, he hit a generator. I think there was like 12 energy in play at the end of the turn. And it was like, and I only had my backup attackers left, because he knocked out my Arceus. So he knocked out my Arceus, that was it. He knocked out my Arceus to go down to 2 prizes. Then I came up and knocked him out. Yeah, I knocked him out to go to 2, and then any single card he brought up would knock me out.
Yeah.
So we got to the point where it was like, yeah, well done. So I lost that, so I went 2 losses and a tie, and went and played Pokemon Go for the rest of the day.
You did as well.
So I bought a ticket for Go Fest and walked around Birmingham, which was quite cool. Yeah. So that was my cup.
It was alright venue as well. I mean, it was okay. We had what was it? You had a regular chips from that restaurant, and it was literally like a box.
What's that place called?
Big John's.
Shout out to Big John's, where you get burger and chips, but it's like going to a chippy.
Yeah, you got.
And then you got the biggest burger in the world.
Crazy.
It was. Shout out to Big John's. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Like, you know.
So it was.
So your cup run was.
It was better than yours, I guess.
So tell the people what you played.
So
another crazy creation.
It was like kind of along the same lines of what Simon was trying to do with the Shaman V in his deck. Instead, I played Lost Box with Tropius and 2 super effective glasses, and it's Glamora. There we go, Glamora EX. I played a 2/2 line of Glamora EX and the Tropius in a Lost Box engine.
So good.
It was
so bad, but so good.
I had so many people as I was just like walking past them. They were like, "Who's that guy playing that Tropius super effective goggles thing?" And I just like laughed. But I went into round 1, and I was expecting a lot of Charizards, because we know Graham's group. It was at Graham's Cup. We know his group. When Lugia came out, they were all playing Lugia, so we just assumed that they would probably do the same thing for Charizard. So round 1, one of Graham's friends, Charizard.
Was it one of Graham's friends?
It's one of Graham's friends.
Okay, so it was a Charizard.
Straight into Charizard. And the first game, he didn't know what I was playing, and I was down to 2 prizes left, and he was down to. I literally was just taking like the normal knockouts on like the little Pidgey. It was the Arceus version. So I got to a knockout with the Glamora on an Arceus. I knocked out a Pidgey, and he managed to bench and evolve another one, and I knocked out something else I can't remember. So I had 2 prizes left. And he thought he'd won because he went down to 1 prize with a knockout and a fully HP Charizard. So then I benched Tropius, attached the Grass Energy. I think I played Rayhan, attached like a Psychic from my discard. And then I grabbed the super effective goggles off the Rayhan, attached it, and just one-shot his Charizard. It's just the super effective goggles makes it do like 340 or something ridiculous. It just one-shots any grass weak Pokemon effectively.
It does 340, I think, which is kind of funny.
And then there's the Glamora X, where your opponent's limited to only 3 bench Pokemon, and that can one shot the Arceus that I just spoke about because of 140 and it's a fighting type. Self-explanatory. Then I went into game 2, which was also kind of one of Graham's friends. He was also playing Charizard. He was playing Charizard with single prizes, but unfortunately when I play Greninja and Sableye, I can just switch to that. So we didn't get a Charizard EX out, so every game I've just had like...
So then you can just play Lost Box.
Yeah, I had the super effective goggles fodder to get rid of. I knew I didn't need it. And I think he did get it out once, but I just I played 2 super effective goggles, so I was able to get rid of the one. He didn't know I played 2, so I just did it again.
You played 2 super effective goggles.
2 super effective goggles, and then so I won that one as well. I went 2-0 with, I guess we can call it Glamora Tropius because that sounds funnier.
Glamora Trollder.
Yeah, so then
Trollpius.
I went into game 3, and before game 3, we were actually discussing what like the worst matchup was, and we were like, I don't know. And then I paired.
And you got it.
I literally lost in like 5 minutes both games against Urshifu VMAX, the rapid strike one. I just realised there's no way I can beat this. Literally, because it's not conventional lost box. Conventional lost box has a chance with the
Raikou?
The Raikou for the knockout on the Inteleon, and you can do 250
with the Dragonite.
With the Dragonite, I've beaten it before quite a few times, but this one doesn't have that. So I did lose that pretty quickly.
They don't really, with Glamora, isn't it? They don't really need like loads of bench. They can just do stuff, can't they?
So I was 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
Then I paired against one of our good friends, Charlie, I believe it was. I think it was Charlie. Yeah, I paired against Charlie. He was playing Xianpao, Palkia, that kind of like box. And as soon as I got Glamora in play, he couldn't really he had to get rid of Manaphy, and he had to get rid of Illuminion. No, I bossed up the Illuminion, so I think he had to get rid of Palkia or a Xianpao.
So you bossed Illuminion, then Glamora.
Yeah, I bossed up Illuminion and then Glamora. That was only in the last game though. The other two, the first game, sorry, was I was about to say a squash match, but I don't want to be mean to Charlie. It wasn't.
A donk stroke, easy.
It was
an easy win.
It was relatively okay because the Xianpao matchup is just relatively just black and white. You just do what you can with what you've got, and then just you win the game. Basically, it's just
I guess it's 2 prizes versus 1 prize.
Yeah, I just kept Sableye, and if you get the turn 1 cram on a Sabertooth Tiger thing, then you just knock it out.
You'll find it because they don't heal or anything, do they?
Yeah,
so
you can chip away when you can, and then most of the time I was taking like 3 or 4 prizes a turn, so then you just win in like the last few turns of the game. Then I was 3-1. 3-1. Yeah. Then I played again. How many rounds was it? Yeah,
it was 6 rounds.
Yeah, so there's 2 more rounds, and I know them. I played against Gardy, which I lost game 1 and 2, so I got 2-0'd again. But hello, Cat. Yes, I got 2-0'd. He was playing Gardy, and I thought it was an okay matchup, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the Glimora out because I benched Glim at turn 1, and no way, this guy hit the nuts. He got the the Cresselia where you can do like the damage to the bench. He just went knock out the Glimmet. And then from then, I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
But the second you get Glamora, if you can get Glamora in the first 3 turns of the game,
they get
you're pretty much set.
But Guardy's quite easy with no bench.
So I was really annoyed about that one.
Cause they can't have Manaphy. They don't really use Manaphy, do they?
I was so annoyed about that one. I was 1 prize short of winning the second game, but obviously that was just the 1 prize short. There was nothing I could do about it, no matter what I promoted, just getting knocked out.
So then you're going into round 6.
Yeah.
You need to win.
I need to win.
Winning in.
Winning in basically for resistance.
Win and in.
Yeah. Don't really want to talk too much about this one. This was tragic. I won game 1. No, I didn't. I played game 1 and then I lost.
You had the 2 super rods.
Yeah, that was it. I can't remember. Yeah, I lost that one because I was a Sableye away from winning the game, and I was prize mapping and everything. And I knew 2 super rods were prize, so I had 3 prizes left, and I was able next turn with the damage I'd set up to take 2 knockouts with Sableye. And I took my last of the 3 prizes, and it was like a Battle VIP pass, and the 2 top prize cards were both my super rods. So I was like, I just have to take the L here. And then I go into game 3.
Because we walked past and you were like in checkmate position. Because we walked past and I was like, nice, checkmate. And then it was like, oh.
Yeah, I knew that anyway. And then game 2.
You go first.
I'll go first. I started Cramorant and nothing else. And I went first. I think I attached a water energy to Cramorant and passed. And then this guy, he just goes, so I'll play double battle VIP pass. I'll play this. I'll play Pokestop. I'll be like Pokestop. Got rid of. It was like a choice bout, I think, which you don't even need for my deck. And then he picked the other two. Because I think Choice Bout was the only one he binned, because you can't keep that. I think that was the only one he binned. And then he just like absolutely blew up, and then one shot my Cramorant for in game 2, and I had nothing left. And this guy was like, "Oh, thanks for the game, bro." I was like, "What do you mean?" I just started Cram. It was just a squash match for you, man. But he won that game. And he still missed out on top cut.
He actually came 9th, didn't he?
And I played against 3 of the people.
I don't know if you would have come 9th or
not. I might have come 9th.
Maybe your resistance was better. Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
I beat someone who like also gave us that other Charizard. I think he came in the bubble because he was telling me about it.
Yeah, just because you started 2-0.
Yeah.
You might have.
I was
but we don't know.
So annoyed against that Lost Box Tina. So I ended up coming like 11th or something.
Yeah,
but I had 2 winning ins and I fluffed it.
You fluffed it.
Yeah, but the 2-0 was funny.
I did fluff it too.
Yeah, I had fun though. It was a good time.
But one of our friends got top 8
with Palkia.
Palkia, yeah.
Palkia,
that was pretty good. Fair. Like he lost in the top 8 to the Urshifu deck, which I think actually came 3rd overall.
Who won the whole thing? Do you remember?
Yeah, Guardy.
Dimitri
playing Guardy, yeah.
Fairs.
Versus Arctina in the final, I think, was what he said. So
that's valid.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, the cup was,
it was fun. I mean, I enjoyed my rounds. I know you probably didn't. But
I need to play quicker, and I've got a new deck now, which is quite good.
I have not,
and it's better. So
I mean,
I played it yesterday, and it was actually really good, wasn't it? No leaks. Because I'm obviously a level tier player, but no leaks for the new deck.
I mean, we changed my deck a little bit, didn't we, to make it?
Yeah.
Because we were talking about how the Urshifu matchup was kind of a bit pants.
Because you don't really have any attackers per se for Urshifu or even the Inteleon.
Yeah. So I found that getting the first knockout was relatively easy. It was the other one that's just impossible. He's going on one. Anyway. We put in a Raikou and 1 Electric and just cut the 2 Glamoras.
So 1/1 Glamora, and then a 1/1.
Yeah.
But 1 Energy, 1 Raikou, just for the. And it's a little bit more of like a. If you go second, you can hit 220, like an explosive knockout Arceus or.
It does also
something.
Kind of in some way allow us to, if we're cutting the 1/1 Glamora. We've got the 4 fighting energy in there now, so that does give us 3, is it?
Yeah, it's 3.
Yeah,
3 fighting, 4 water, other stuff.
Ignore me then.
Yeah.
But I think the deck's okay. I mean, I came second yesterday, beat a bunch of kids. But actually, no, I beat 1 kid.
Me too, I beat a bunch of kids.
I played the 2 adults. I played you and Lee. And it was against Lunatone and your deck.
My Arceus deck.
With Reggie's with Glamora. It's not fun. It's not a fun game. You just got Glamora.
He literally got all 6 Reggie turn 1 as well.
Yeah,
and then you Glamora'd him.
This poor, how old is he? 6 or 7. This poor little kid, man.
Yeah, little Rue.
Little Rue just got blasted with.
Shout out to Rue.
Yeah, fair play to Rue though. He was the only junior at our league yesterday, but he still won.
Obviously, because he's only junior.
He still won, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which was good. So yeah, that was the cup. I'm not sure when we're doing the next one.
There was meant to be one in Kidderminster this Saturday, but we're choosing not to go to that one. Won't discuss why.
I got work, so yeah.
I
have work, and I have a challenge on Sunday, so I'm going to do the challenge instead. So.
Oh, yo.
Are you working Sunday? Or?
No, I'm off.
So you're coming Sunday for the challenge, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll let you know how the challenge goes.
That'll be our
next week. We might.
Anecdote.
Don't know. We might record before that, but maybe on the Sunday morning or the Saturday or something.
I mean, we were planning to do a little bit of recording when we were at the cup, but we kind of just forgot about that.
Yeah,
So,
we're still learning like the whole vlogging part, editing. If that was me, I would have just like recorded everything, and the video would have been like 15 hours long. So
that would have been funny though, to be fair.
This is us getting into the car.
Just your
This is us shouting at the traffic.
Just your phone in your pocket.
This is us like. This is me telling my opponent to hurry that up.
Yeah, that's true.
This is me going, not another path deck, man. I'm the one meant to be playing path deck. For Jesus.
We will expand.
So next time if we do like a vlog or whatever it's called, we'll make sure we know how to do it. So stuff like that will be done. Yeah. I hope. Yeah.
Yeah, we do have one more main topic though.
Yeah, we're going to talk.
That's your domain.
Wow, I say we're going to talk. We're going to talk about, obviously, the season has begun. And
after
the first regional is Pittsburgh, which is this weekend. The 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever this weekend is. It's this weekend. So obviously that's in Pittsburgh. I'm pretty sure it's sold out. They've probably got over 1,000 players.
First regional.
I'm sure we could look it up, but I'm not going to, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to talk about the meta. Has the meta really changed since Obsidian Flames, or OBS as people call it? Isn't that what this is? OBS?
Yeah.
There you go. OBS. Yeah, really. It's good for something. The set's not very good, but... So... When you look at the meta from, let's say, from when we went to the Cup, and you look at what made the top 8 of the Cup, has this set actually done anything?
Not really. I think it's just what I said in it. Charizard's stupid person deck.
The shiny new toy deck.
It's just not very good.
The stupid person deck.
I mean, the only reason I played that deck was to counter it is because that just sounds horrible. But it's because I just assumed that all of Graham's friends and all his crew would play the new meta. But
not even that. I think a lot of like you said, like Poker Dad, kind of like someone like say like me, who are taking their kids with them, could be like, Charizard looks pretty good, I'll play that because it's quite strong. I've hit it on the ladder and it battered me. I want to play that deck. So I think not even like friend groups or player groups, I think when you look at the new, like you said with Lugia, people are like, Lugia is really powerful, I'll just play it because it seems really easy to play and I'll just play it, and if I'm not very good at playing, I can still win games. Whereas certain decks, like Lost Box, you kind of have to know what you're doing. Guardy, yeah. I think a lot of people saw Guardy as like an idiot deck. But Guardy is actually really easy to lose if you don't get rid of the right cards or set up like the checkmate attacks. Whereas Charizard is, well, yeah, you literally just go rare candy, evolve, and you search for energy and attack.
I think the best way of describing it is when you're playing, the Arceus Pidgey version. I mean, half the time, what are you Pidgeying for? When you've got set up, what are you Pidgeying for?
Yeah, well, they Pidgey for boss, don't they? Yeah, Pidgey boss every turn. That's all it is. Whereas, like, as I said, with no leaks, like I played Arceus Pidgey yesterday, but no Charizard. Just Arceus Pidgey with cards.
Yeah.
So I use Pidgey every turn to get certain cards to win me games.
Yeah.
And it wasn't boss. It was maybe a stadium, maybe a tech card. Maybe some of the real spicy cards that I played in the deck, right? Which is what I think Pidgey's better for. But yeah, the Arceus Pidgey Charizard is Starbirth for Rare Candy Pidgey. Rare Candy Pidgey for Rare Candy Charizard to evolve Charizard to attack. Yeah? And I think in a regional, I'm going to throw it out there now, right? One Charizard will make top 8. Because that'll be the guy who hits heads every turn. That kind of player.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first or second? I'll go first, Sound.
He just slaps the
Rare
nuts.
Candy, bang, bang, bang. There'll be one... My guess will be one Charizard in top 8. That's just me throwing it out there. It's not going to win, though.
No.
What have you Coffin. So, that's not my prediction. That's my calling it out there is one Charizard, top 8, but it's the high roller. Because you find that there's always a high roller playing a new deck. When there was always that like one Miraidon in top 8, or the one GM Power in top 8, and the rest of it's the same old crowd. So I don't think the new set's really, because there's no like apart from Pidgey. I think Pidgey is like
That's insane.
A lot of people said Pidgey was overrated and then underrated, and I think Pidgey is just
very strong.
Yeah, like actually.
Every time I play against it, it's not like one of those support Pokemon
like
that you know how to get rid of.
You're just sitting there going, so I've got my perfect setup, right? Let's say you're playing Miraidon, right? So you can take a one shot on the Arceus. Let's just say Arceus is in the active, but they've got a Pidgey on the bench, and you're like, I kind of want to kill the Pidgey before it evolves.
Yeah.
And it's that, because every time I play against Charizard, they could have 3 Charmanders out, and I'm like, I have to get the Pidgey. They could have 1 Charmander out, right? And I'm like, I need to get the Pidgey. Forget the Charmander, whatever, because if they evolve that Pidgey, I think you're dead.
Yeah,
you're done. Because, and then it's got 280 HP.
That's what I mean. It's not one of those support Pokemon that you can
right?
just like flip out of the way.
It's weak to lightning, which is whatever. Yes, certain stuff can kill it, but if you're playing, from what I found out yesterday,
oh shit!
If you're playing Pidgey against Lost Box, it's quite difficult if you get into a certain situation. Raikou can't even one-shot you because you don't have any bench.
Yeah, I knew I couldn't beat the one I played against.
Yeah, so the Raikou, even the Raikou, you're like, yeah, Raikou, it's Pidgey. You're like, Raikou can't do 280 to my Pidgey.
Yeah.
It's close, I think. Or maybe it can, I don't know, 120, 140. Maybe it can, I don't know. But either way, it's, are you really going to do that? Because then something can just come up and kill your Raikou, you know?
Well, you just lost box. You lost Zoned my Greninja.
Yeah, which is good. Because I knew that was the plan. So, with the Pittsburgh, like, so are people just going to stick with what they're good with? Or do you think people will do what you stroke me did and put grass stuff in as well? Because I've seen a lot of online where they're playing Arceus, Tina, Superior.
Yeah,
or Shaman, right? So do you think people are going to do that, or do you think people are going to be like, Charizard's bad, I'm not even going to bother teching for it? Like, what would your prediction on that be? Like, what would you do?
What would I play?
Like, would you, let's say if you were taking the Glamora deck, would you play the Tropius, or would you cut the Tropius for, say, Dragonite because it's just more consistent?
If you cut it in Dragonite, you're changing the whole deck.
But that's what I mean. Would you play like normal Lost Box, or would you play the I need to beat Charizard Lost Box?
Jump. For the first regional of the year, after a dark week deck just winning Worlds, I think I might just play the Tropius. I mean, it does help in other matches.
That makes sense, because I suppose people might think everyone's going to play Mew.
Yeah.
And then if everyone plays Mew, everyone will play Charizard.
Yeah, that's...
So you got the triangle?
Yeah, that's what I would think. That'll only be the case. That'll only be the case for like the first.
I would play, if I played the Arceus deck, I would play the Shaman just to cover my butt, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know. So you think Charizard will have a?
I don't think it will be good, but I
think it will be like
so many people will play it.
Like it'll have the turnout, yeah.
It'll have the population.
Where you're sitting there going,
yeah, you're just
a pair of Charizard, and if you can't beat it, then you probably go into the bottom tables, which is full of Charizard.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. Okay, so what? So do you think Charizard will be the most popular deck? Like, what do you think will be the most popular deck out of all the decks?
Played probably Mew.
You think Mew? Wow, okay. You think Mew will be the number 1 percentage deck, yeah?
I mean, it wasn't at Worlds by far, was it?
I'll tell you what was crazy again, because we haven't done much out, but going back to our cup, I think if someone played Mew at the cup just gone, they'd have done really well.
Yeah. You're just going to have a lot of sniffle sounds on the mic then.
But no one played Mew at the cup. And yes, there was a couple of Charizard, but I think if round 1, round 2, if you can dodge Charizard, Mew could smash everything. But you got to dodge the Charizards.
Yeah. I think Mew's alright. I don't know if it'll be number 1. It might just be Guardy again, or Lost Box again. But I hope it's Lost Box and Guardy. Said like our 2 decks if you kind of think about it. But There's no way of telling, really. There's sometimes there'll just be some random stuff that appears, like the United Wings, mate. I'm telling you.
No. So...
What was that?
So most popular deck...
would be around Mew or Guardy.
We've got to pick one. What's your prediction?
Is it like a serious prediction?
Yeah, let's say, what do you think will be the most played deck?
Guardy, probably.
Okay.
Most played Guardy.
So I'll go with, and that's any Guardy variant,
yeah.
right? Not all Guardy. I'll go with. I could just go easy, couldn't I? I'm gonna go with Arceus.
It won't though. It just won't.
But I'm gonna go with Arceus, Pidgey variants.
It just won't.
Like, but Arceus without Bibarel, if that makes sense. That kind of deck.
It is, old.
So Arceus, Pidgey, Darudlon, something weird like that. Like that, I'm going to go with that. Do you think that's bad?
If it is, I will eat jar of mustard in the next... No, I won't. But...
Okay, so most played archetype, isn't it? Is Arceus.
It makes sense though.
So Arceus, because Arceus beats Charizard. That's the only reason. And Arceus beats Lost Box.
I just didn't expect you to say that.
Just not well. I was going to say Lost Box, but
yeah,
that's just easy. So
cute.
I'm going to go outside the box and say Arceus piles, but no Bibarel. If it's Bibarel, then I don't know if they put them in the same pile. But Pidgey replaces Bibarel. Trust me, I know from experience.
Valid.
So, what deck do you think will win the whole thing?
Charizard.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was going to say Charizard.
I reckon Charizard.
I was going to be that stupid... I was going to be an idiot and say Charizard. So you actually think...
I actually think Charizard's
like,
going to win.
Okay, I'll give you just Charizard. But for an extra bonus point, what version of Charizard? Now, there's 3 versions.
Yeah.
There's Arceus.
Yeah.
With Pidgey.
Pidgey.
There's Pidgey with Mew.
Yeah.
And there's a Lost Box version, which is kind of like the Glamora that you play, but it's Charizard. Which Charizard deck, if any of those win, then you still win. But for bonus like flex points, which Charizard deck will win the whole tournament?
Like you said, I can imagine some guy who just goes, "I'll play Pidgey for boss, Pidgey for boss, Pidgey for boss every single turn," or like Pidgey for.
So do you think the one with or without Arceus?
I reckon it'll be the one with.
Just for that, because Arceus is going to attack her as well. So
Yeah,
Arceus, the what you call the stupid people.
Yeah, I reckon the stupid person will go on a stupid roll. But I think the professional players will probably take their eyes off of Charizard. I reckon. I don't think any of them.
Well, I was going to say Charizard just because it's funny.
I stole your idea.
I will go with. To win the whole tournament, should I just say Arceus again? No. I think to win the whole tournament... Don't actually know.
You'll be yawning then.
Let's go with... Guardy. Safe bet, Guardy.
We just went with like the complete opposites. I said Guardy would be the most played. You said it all went. You said Arceus will be the most played. I said Arceus.
I'll be safe and say Guardy's going to win the tournament. It's going to be towards Guardy list for extra flex.
Not toward though.
No, I think an American player is going to win. You?
I think I'm not bothered. UK.
UK player?
Don't get many of them, so it's got to happen sometime.
Okay, cool.
There we go.
And
one of us, preferably.
do you think that, like we said for Worlds, do you think there will be any like Tekken tournaments? I have one.
There's that. I know what it does, but I don't know what it's called. When that it's a stadium that adds the extra attack cost.
Yeah, the Pokemon headquarters or whatever. You think that will be?
I reckon someone will play that just to stop Lost Box.
Okay.
That's just the only card that.
So my tech of the tournament is more of a play rather than a tech. Let's just give it to your guy who's playing Charizard, this mythical person we've made up, right?
British UK.
This British UK Charizard player, in their Charizard deck, they're going to play Path to the Peak.
Yeah, that's fair. You can do that like what people do with Mew.
I think Charizard Path to the Peak.
Hello, buddy.
Would be really good because then because you can Pidgey for ways to bump it before you even play it. Like Mew, but you can set up your own Charizard and then Path your opponent. Yeah. So I think Path to the Peak will be the tech, but it will be in the Charizard deck. A Path to the Peak in other decks is normal.
No, I agree with that.
Playing Path in a deck that isn't you, like you said when it was in Mew, that was the tech of the tournament. Like the Double Turbo Mew at Worlds. You know, the Playerz Cup at Worlds when Pramwat played it. I think it was Pramwat,
the Double Turbo Mew.
That was just crazy. That was the tech of the whole tournament.
That defined a lot of stuff.
So I think Guardy's going to win. You say Charizard's going to win.
Yeah.
American player versus British player. Tech of the tournament is going to be a stadium.
Yeah.
But my stadium is only allowed to be in Charizard.
Yeah, my stadium.
Your stadium is in...
anything.
It's going to cripple, Iono Stadium Lost Box would be, scary.
So dumb.
Yeah. That would be quite good. And you could even have Lost Box decks actually playing it as well.
Yeah.
To, cripple their... Mirage Gate to your own Sableye.
Could annoy, it does stuff against Shampoo as well, doesn't it?
I think it's Miraidon as well. It's all basic Pokemon, isn't it? So it's good against basic decks.
Yeah, I think they'll be alright.
So that would be really cool.
I think that's a good guess, yeah.
And then the most played decks, Arceus Pidgey versus...
Guardy. Most played was my Guardy.
Most played, percentage-wise, yeah. And then, cool.
Damn!
So...
Is that...
Feel free, we can get everyone else to do their predictions in the comments, can't they? So... A little thing I do want to say is the last video we had, we don't get many views. I think we had 40 views. 40?
47, something like that, 46, sorry.
Might be less than that, might be 20 or something.
I don't know.
But if you do watch the video, can you like it as well? Because we only had 3 likes. If you don't like it, then that's fine, but can you just tick it? It takes 1 second.
Yeah.
And drop a comment. Just drop us a comment on... You don't have to do all the crazy stuff that we just said, but if you could just write in the comments what deck's going to win Pittsburgh. That's it. It'll take you 2 seconds, right? And if you're not subscribed, can you subscribe? It helps us out. It'll give us more motivation to keep going.
I know some of you are out there watching not logged in. That's
Lee.
poor, that is.
You should be logging in and giving Rue a subscription.
Yeah,
Lee.
That's
right. But yeah, please drop a like and help us out, and it will give us it will help us out doing more videos, and that's it really, isn't it?
Yeah, we're only doing this for something to do, so we might as well get something from it.
It's just and it's nice to see that we're doing a good job. We take all the constructive criticism. If anything's rubbish or bad, let us know that as well, and we can work on that. We tried to do a few pop-up things this time. We'll strive to work on that. We're still working on popping stuff on the screens and all that rubbish. Visual aids, as somebody said. Visual aids. Yeah. That was Terry.
Yeah. But we'll
So that's pretty much it from us. We'll hopefully get one out in a week. Right? Next week will be... I think the week after next is Lille.
Yeah.
So we can go through a quick meta breakdown.
Barcelona?
No, Barcelona's a bit late. I think Lille or Barcelona is first. I think Lille's first.
There's Lille and Barcelona.
Yeah, one's the week after Pittsburgh, I think. Well, whichever one it is, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Depending on when we do the video, we'll talk about, like, if we could probably do the video on Monday again. No, you're at college, yeah?
Next Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back to work, college work.
So depending on what day it is, we'll be talking about the results of Pittsburgh. Like, if we record on the Sunday, we can talk about day 2.
We can also talk about our challenge if we do it in the
stuff
Saturday
like that.
Morning or afternoon.
And also, we're going to be starting like a weekly regular topic as of next week. So that's going to be our new like thing, I guess. And we're going to be talking about older decks, but good older decks. We're not going to go really like expanded old. Like, pretty much for like, we're going to go back to like maybe when we started playing, like 2017-18 decks. And we're going to break those decks down and give them points based on, if they were played today, how relevant would they be? Based on certain points to what today's meta is. And would they be the broken decks they were today? If that sounds confusing, then you need to click back and watch us next time. But
you always sound confused.
You'll see what I mean. He knows what I mean. I don't think he knows what I mean.
I know what I mean.
So yeah, we're going to break down old decks, which people class as broken decks, to see if A, they really were broken decks, and B, are they still, in this format, would they still be broken decks? With comparisons.
I guess we'll have to start with the first decks that we played then. I don't know what the first deck I don't actually know what the first deck I probably played was. Oh, I do.
I remember, yeah.
I do remember what the first deck I ever played was.
So
that's crazy, that is.
Yeah. Remember Toxic Trash?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So, which actually became a meta deck.
With Decidueye, wasn't it? I remember that.
Decidueye Forest of the Giant Plants. Would that be relevant today? Yes. It would. So, but we're going to talk about those kind of style decks.
The nutty ones.
And yeah, you'll see. But we're gonna take away certain aspects which would balance them out in the metas. You know, because back then you didn't have like 350 HP, blah blah blah. So we're gonna balance out those in relevance to and see if that card was I'm waffling now.
It's fine. You're allowed to.
So that will be next week's topic. Well, that's going to be a weekly topic. We're going to pick a deck. We're going to put it up on the screen. We're going to show you the cards. We're going to talk through the cards. You're going to have to learn how to do that. And then we're going to go through. We're going to allocate points for, setup, attack, blah blah blah, and then see if that works against so and so deck. The similar kind of deck. You know what I mean? Yeah?
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. So that's just something a bit fun, which we're going to do. And it gives people an insight into like older stuff as well, because that's what interests me more, is the more older stuff than this newer format.
There we go. We have something to fill the end of the video with now, instead of us waffling for the last 7 minutes.
Like we just did.
Yep.
8 minutes.
8 minutes and 12 seconds.
12 seconds. So, yeah, we'll be back one day next week.
We will be back.
Not 2 weeks.
Don't worry.
I'll make sure he's out of bed.
Yes, that was the real reason. But not here. Anyway.
And we're signing off, guys.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
See you later.
Toodle pips.
Bye bye.